Good morning and welcome to the El Paso Black Business Network's celebration of August being Black Business Month. Obviously, sometimes there are a few technical issues, and with the rain in El Paso today, the internet didn't want to work correctly. But we're here and we're here to bring you some amazing speakers who are going to share just little bits of burst of information. So, our first person who will be speaking is a very dear friend to the El Paso Black Business Network and Black El Paso Voice, Miss Sharon Parham, and she is from Illinois. We have started this engagement for little business bursts and life bursts of information, which we will do at least once a month or weekly. We'll have one or two people to come on and share information about business and life. This is all done to share information and provide some inspiration. So, again, our first speaker is Miss Sharon Parham. She is from Illinois. She is a life coach, and we hope that you enjoy today's information and inspiration.
Thank you, El Paso Black Business Network, for inviting me and being a part of this team. Thank you for taking this time to celebrate Black Business Month. Again, my name is Sharon Parham, and I am a speaker, a certified life coach, a wife, a mother, and entrepreneur. I also have over 25 years of experience in corporate America. So, again, thank you for allowing me to be here to share information and inspiration. Now, with that being said, today I'm going to share with you a couple nuggets on confidence. As we know, life happens, and sometimes we allow doubt to set in. But when we do that, we also authorize the seed of deception to follow. Deception is simply to be led away from the truth, which in turns affect our confidence. People lack confidence for various reasons, but today I'll just touch on a few. First one I'd like to talk about is pride. Pride will not allow us to seek the guidance or help that we may need because you don't want to be exposed or found out that you actually need help or simply don't know the answer. This can be from being judged when asking for help or being turned down when you are in need of help. Second thing I'd like to talk about is fear. Fear will paralyze you. What I like to say is you can look at fear two ways. One of two ways, I should say. False evidence appearing real, or you can face everything and rise. Which one will you choose? Don't allow your fear of failure to outweigh your desire to succeed. Finally, do you feel or think that things you don't deserve? How do you see yourself? What image do you have of you? So I was speaking to a friend of mine, and they were looking for a place, and I was telling them about some places where they could, potentially rent or what have you. And when they looked at the pictures of the place, they told me, "Man, those are nice." And I'm like, "Yeah, they are." It's like, "They look perfect." I was like, "Well, yeah, they look really nice. They're new built and everything. So no one's lived there." And I'm encouraging them as to how, they'll be the first one living there and so on and so forth. In turn, this person told me, "It's so perfect. I don't think I belong there." And I was like, wow. I said, "Well, I don't think there's anything that's too good for me. I think I deserve anything that I want." One day I was sitting in service and my pastor said, "You can trace every negative image back to words. Someone said it and you believed it." Now, let me just say to you that you are worthy of it all, and the opinions of others are just theirs. Beliefs can be changed. As soon as you change your beliefs, you will see that things will start to happen for you. Just for one moment, just do me a favor. Just think about something that you desire, a place you want to be, whatever it is. Just close your eyes for a moment and just think about that thing. Now, Take that same thought process and implement it. Every positive image can be traced back to words. Someone said it and you believed it. Now, I just told you that you are worthy. Do you believe that? How do you see yourself? Where do you want to go? Simply start speaking the words of the new image that you want for yourself and watch it begin to manifest. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
We appreciate Sharon for sharing those words. And again, sometimes we need that confidence booster, and that's what we're here for today. Again, it's August, is Black Business Month. We're here to celebrate business, we're here to celebrate life. Coming up next, we're just going to have a few different informational pieces. Our resident realtor, Miss Julie Loving Scott, is going to share with us with a question that was presented. When it comes to buying homes, is living in the home the only reason to purchase a home? She's going to share information and will be inviting someone else on who's a realtor who will dig a little deeper into what that means when it comes to passive income. And our next speaker is Miss Julie Loving Scott.
Just purchasing property, whether it's land, commercial property, or residential property, just to be able to occupy that space themselves. Some of them are using them as Airbnbs, as rental properties. Some of them are using them, for instance, they may be living in one room in a house or one side of a duplex and leasing the other side. Um, some of them actually buy a piece of property because we are near a military installation. They buy that property to use exclusively to be able to house sergeant majors that come to the Sergeant Majors Academy here at Fort Bliss. Commercial property, some people purchase the commercial property to subdivide those spaces to house other small businesses, to give them a launch space to be able to launch out, to be able to, for some people that were working from home, but they realized they needed to work in a building, they, subdivide those commercial spaces into smaller office spaces to where people can come and go to work. So no, it's not just for you to occupy, and I say occupy because that covers the rental and the commercial property and even the land that some people are purchasing. Land, you may ask, how is it that you can make income off of land? You can allow somebody else to lease that property. They can build on that property. You can negotiate how that building is to be handled. You can lease land to somebody else. You can lease land to the government. So there, you don't have to occupy that piece of property in order to purchase the property.
We thank Julie for that, and she'll be joining us, like I said, each month to provide information and inspiration. She is a financial coach, a realtor, and we're here to celebrate her too for Black Business Month. If you have any questions about real estate or building your financial wealth here in El Paso, give Julie a call, and you can visit her at theoasiselement.com. And next up, we will have Miss Shalia Anthony. Shalia is a retired Army service member. She does so much here in the community. She supports Black El Paso Voice. She really, really, truly loves helping our veterans, and she's going to share some information about the Military Veterans and Peer Network here in El Paso. They provide so much information and support for veterans. So here is Miss Shalia to share with you a little bit about what she does for the El Paso veterans here in El Paso.
Shalia Anthony. I'm with Military Veteran Peer Network. I work with the Veterans One Stop Center, and I'm contracted with Emergence Health Network. So today I'm going to tell you about some of the services that we offer the SMVF community, which is service members, veterans, and their family. I have a slideshow presentation, so give me a second to pull that up. All right, so like I stated, I work out of the Veterans One Stop Center. We're located on Diana Drive, 9565. It's right down the street from the Sam's Club on the northeast, down the street from Old Glory Memorial. So if you're familiar with that area, you probably pass this all the time. We're that building on the right-hand side when you're leaving from Sam's Club. All right, so the Veterans One Stop Center, they offer free clinical services. It doesn't matter your discharge status, and it doesn't matter what era you served in. So it could be pre 9/11 or post 9/11, they're going to get you taken care of. So they do individual counseling, marriage counseling, and family counseling. As you can see, the personnel that are serviced here are 5 through 17 for children and then 18 and up for adults. And then we also have a case manager here who assists with resume building and then just you reaching your goals. So you'll talk with your counselor, your therapist, come up with a plan, and the case manager is going to help you assist to meet those goals that y'all have came up with. So the Veterans One Stop Center is really a one-stop shop. We have a lot of different other organizations, agencies housed with us. So we have substance abuse assistance, and that's with OSAR, which is outreach screening, assistance and referrals, and that's through EHN, as well as their SUD, which is substance use disorders. They help with employment as well. So if you are someone that's using substance abuse or substance use or whatever, they'll help you overcome that and then help you as far as employment. And it can be anything from alcohol to something harder. And then we have education assistance. So here we have Grand Canyon University and Western Governors University. And the good thing about them is they don't just focus on their schools. So if you have a question on your post 9/11 or you just want to get started with school in general, they'll help you with any school around the area or whatever, just so you can meet your goals. They don't just say, okay, you have to come to our university. And then for disability claims assistance, we have Texas Veterans Commission Claims Department here. He does do walk-ins sometimes, but you have to keep in mind he might have a scheduled appointment, so you might wait a little bit. But if you contact us, we can inform him, and then he'll reach back out to you, or we can get you scheduled with TVC just in general. And then employment assistance, again, that's what the case manager comes in to assist you as far as the resume writing, and then job opening and whatever job opening listings he'll let you know. When we do have the funds, depending on the time of the year and stuff like that, stuff of that nature, we do offer rental and utility assistance here. If we don't have it here, then we're going to send you to an agency that we know does have it. And then we offer peer services, which is with MVPN, which is where I fall in. So to be eligible for Veterans One Stop Center for the services, as far as the clinical, you need proof of military services. So as you can see, it can be anything from a DD-214, your ERB, your VIC card, your veteran ID card, your military ID card, your award letter. They're even so lenient where if you have a picture of you in uniform, they're going to try to get you squared away. And then a proof of residency. So you need to have your utility bill or like an insurance card or something like that. So this is the flow of services when you're getting clinical services at the Veterans One Stop Center. Again, you provide your eligibility documents. You'll complete all the required documentation. You'll get a clinical assessment, and then you'll start seeing your therapist. So you might end up seeing like 2 people prior to seeing your therapist, but that's just to make sure we're sending you to the right people, and then we're actually making sure we're taking care of your needs. All right, so again, like I stated, I'm with Military Veteran Peer Network and VPN. So our goal is to provide understanding of the military veteran. My goal right now is to provide understanding of the Military Veteran Peer Network. Again, we serve the SMVF community, and we also have volunteer opportunities. So the way MVPN works, we're only in the state of Texas. And the way they have us operate is we are contracted with the local mental health authority for our area. So like here in El Paso, I fall under Emergency Health Network because that's the LMHA, the local mental health authority in El Paso. If you go to somewhere like, let's say San Antonio, you might be under Cohen or something like that. It just depends on who the LMHA is for that particular area. So we have about 254 counties that fall under MVPN. About 37 of them have the local mental health authority, the LMHAs. And right now, I believe they have contracted about 51 peer service coordinators, which is what I am. As you can see from the map, it's all divided. It just depends. A lot of the MVPNs are like located closer, so they can help each other out. As you can see, I'm off by myself with my partner Natalie, all over here on the west side. But the good thing about MVPN is if you contact us and you tell us you're moving to the Fort Hood area and you have questions about housing, clinical services or whatever, I'll reach out to the MVPN in that area and have them reach out to you. So when you transition to that other area, you'll be squared away. And that's the website you can go to find which MVPN is closer to you. So these are the services that we provide. We do the peer support, which is with, one-on-one peer support, because sometimes you can't talk to your family and friends about what you're going through. So if you contact us, you can either talk to myself, my partner, Natalie, or one of our numerous great volunteers. And we also do peer support groups. We're involved with Justice Involved Veterans. So we provide services to them. We were going to Latuna Federal Correction Facility. Trainings and stuff like that, we kind of had to put it on pause, but we would go out there, we would do peer support groups, and then we would find out what information they needed, and then we would provide it for them. We do suicide prevention and awareness trainings. The trainings that we do are CALM, Counseling on Access to Lethal Means, which is putting that time and distance between the person that is suicidal and the method that they're planning on using. We do ASK, which is Ask About Suicide to Save a Life. And then we do mental health first aid, and is bringing awareness to how you would act or how you would react to somebody that might be having a mental illness or something like that. And back to the Justice Involved Veterans, I did forget to mention that we also work with the Paso Veterans Treatment Court. So when we do our volunteer training, we brief on that and we recruit mentors for the persons that are enrolled in that program. So we do a lot of resource referrals and with warm handoffs. So we get calls for people that need financial assistance, legal, mental health services. If Veterans One Stop Center is not good for you, if y'all don't see eye to eye, then we will send you somewhere else. I'm all about taking care of the community. And then again, substance use recovery, we get calls for people that are about to be, homeless. So we try to take care of them, food issues, insecurities, whatever. We make sure we collaborate with a lot of different agencies so we can make sure that we square you away instead of you driving all over El Paso trying to figure out where you're going, where to go to, and getting even more overwhelmed. And then again, we offer volunteer community service opportunities. So we have outreach team. Like again, I mentioned the court with the Paso Veterans Treatment Court. So you can be a court mentor, a peer mentor, doing the one-on-one, just being there for somebody to talk to. And then group facilitator. Our groups are facilitated by volunteers. Again, they don't lead it. It's not clinical. It's ran by a peer. So it's peer to peer. So the groups that we currently have are Haven, which is Harassment, Assault, Violence Ends Now. That's our MST support group. So it's for anyone that has, anyone that's a survivor of sexual assault or sexual trauma. And we meet on the second and fourth Tuesday. As of right now, we're meeting virtually. To get the link, you'll have to contact me. And then I'll pretty much talk to you just to make sure it's a good fit. Then we have Yarnaholics. That one is it's a peer support group. You learn a hobby of crocheting and you just talk. A lot of times when you're working with your hands, your mind relaxes and you end up getting more off your chest. And then we have Open Doors, which is our new, well, not new, we just brought it back, our new peer support group for LGBTQ plus community. And again, it's for service members, veterans, and their family in that demographic in the community. Pathfinders, which is our general peer support group, is for service members and veterans. And then we have the other side, which is for spouses and significant others of veterans and service members. And those take place at the same time. Because what we were finding was we had a lot of veterans that are bringing their spouses to group, but they wouldn't talk. So we decided to, split them up. So, the spouses can go in there and talk about what they needed to, and the veterans and service members can talk about what they needed to. All these groups are geared towards helping to cope with mental illness, whether it's PTSD, anxiety, depression, it doesn't matter. That's our focus. And of course, to build camaraderie, just a reminder that you're not alone. And that is all I have for this presentation. Again, there's my contact information and my partner Natalie's contact information. If you want to get scheduled for the one stop for the clinical, you can give us a call and we get you squared away. If you have questions about just MVPN in general or you need resources, you can reach out to us. We also post on social media a lot. We have the Paso Military Veteran Peer Network Facebook page. And then we also have the Veterans One Stop Center page. If you go to our website, which is epveteranonestopcenter.org, we post a lot of stuff there. We have a calendar that's posted there. And we don't just focus on events for the SMBF community. If it's going to better El Paso, we're going to post it. So it might be jobs, it might be events that's taking place, something to get you out of the house. We're going to post it on those pages. So that's all I have. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to Miss Shalia Anthony. Again, she is a veteran, U.S. Army veteran. She does so much here in the community, and we appreciate her. She is also one of our contributors for Black El Paso Voice. She is a movie buff, so she provides the reviews for movies and TV shows and what you can watch on Netflix. So make sure you follow her there too at Elise Tony. But again, if you need more information for veterans, stop by and see her on Facebook at Military Veteran Peer El Paso, and she will be able to assist you with any information that you may need. And next up, we have a very good friend of ours who is also a realtor. He'll be sharing with you about passive income when it comes to real estate. Mr. Calvin McPherson is a retired Army veteran and he resides in South Carolina, but he is a supporter of Black El Paso Voice. And he will also have a column on in our newspaper coming up soon. And again, he'll be sharing with you about passive income for real estate.
Calvin McPherson. I'm a retired soldier, did 25 years in the military. I'm currently a realtor in the state of South Carolina with Burris and Presley Realty, Columbia, South Carolina. And today we're going to talk about 3 categories of income. We're going to focus on passive, but we're going to define 3 categories of income. First, you have active income. Most people understand what active income is because they have a job. W-2, you go to work, you work for the money, or you a contractor, 1099, you actually do the work to receive the pay. That's considered active income. You're actively doing something to get the pay. We have passive income, where you're sort of like a solid investor. You put the money there and it works for you. Or you buy the asset and the asset works for you. Then you have portfolio income, which is dividends, interest, stuff of that nature. You might buy a real estate investment trust where you just put your money there, and every quarter or every month, depending on how the REIT is set up, you'll receive a check for a dividend check. You can either get the check or you can reinvest it back into the fund. So those are the 3 main categories of income: active, passive, and portfolio income. But today we're going to focus more on passive income. A lot of people speak on passive income, and my definition is kind of different from a lot of people. So my definition of passive income, in my opinion, is income that includes earnings from rental property, limited partnerships, and other businesses which you are not actively participating. Like I said earlier, somewhat of a silent investor. So if you have a group of friends and a friend has a business and he says, hey, I need to raise $100,000. And you say, hey, well, I have 50. You give him the 50, he runs the business. You're a silent partner. He or she runs the business. You're a silent partner. Every quarter or however you set up the payments would be considered passive income. So you put the money there. You're not actually doing anything physically in the business or working in the business, and you receive payment for your investment. Is one definition of passive income. So me as a realtor, I look at individuals where I can assist you with receiving passive income. For example, this is one way that I think most people, especially young people with no children or couples that are just starting out, for me, I would suggest to them that they purchase a home, but not just any home, not a single family home, more so like a triplex or a fourplex. And my reasoning for that is if you're a couple and you're not married and you know you're going to get married, then you have double the buying power. The fiance, the male and the female, the future husband and the future wife, the future husband, he can purchase a triplex, right? And the future wife can purchase a triplex. Their intention is to live in there, but say, hey, they get married. So now they have 3 doors over here, 3 doors over here, and then they can purchase their single family home. But those 3 triplex that they purchased before they got married is now generating passive income because they have renters in it, tenants, whatever you want to call them, and they're generating money every week from the properties that they purchased prior to getting married. If you're a young professional, most people will be like, well, I don't want a house, I don't want to purchase anything, but it will be a good investment, especially if you're young. If you purchase a 3-family home, you live in one of the units and you rent out the other 2 units, that is passive income. Just say, for example, the 3 units are $1,000 per month for rent. Your mortgage is $900. So that would be $2,000 that you're receiving from the tenants, and you're only paying a mortgage of $900. So that's $1,100 of cash flow that you have every month. And if you decide, well, hey, my rent would have been $1,000 anyway, so I'm going to pay my rent as well. So that would be another $1,000 added to the pot. So now you have a total of $3,000 every month, minus the $900. So that's $2,100 that you could save, invest, or do whatever you want to do with, right? So passive income is a great way to build wealth, especially in real estate, because like I alluded to earlier with the couple, if they purchase the three unit homes apiece, right? So now they have those units that they own, and now they can either buy another 4-plex, 3-plex, or they can purchase a single family home. Excuse me. But they already own those other 2 units, and the tenants are making the payments for them. So just say, for example, they held those units for 10 or 15 years. They're not making any payments out of their pocket, but the unit is gaining appreciation and the mortgage is going down because the tenants are making the mortgage payments. So if you're looking to receive passive income, I would suggest that you look into real estate first, right? You can do the portfolio stuff, you can invest, that's good stuff as well. But one thing about real estate, everyone has to live somewhere. It could be a single family home, it could be a triplex, it could be a 4-plex, it could be an apartment complex, whatever the case may be, mobile home, whatever it is, you have to live somewhere. So my suggestion is buy you a piece of the earth. Land, they're not making anymore. So once you have land, you put a structure on it, it's real estate. That's always a good way to go. And no matter where you look, in most cases, barring 2008, where the market, because that didn't have really anything to do with real estate, it was more so the financial industry, where they had a bunch of bad loans and all this other stuff. But 9 times out of 10, real estate is going to appreciate, and it's going to be a good investment in the long term. So if you're looking to generate passive income, real estate would be my first avenue. And there's different ways to do it. You could do it as, like I said earlier, you can purchase a 3-plex, 4-plex, and rent the properties, or you can purchase the home and you can say, hey, I don't want to touch any of it. I just want to purchase a home. I'm going to hire me a property management company, and they're going to manage everything. So all you do is you turn it over to them. They're going to manage it. They'll select the tenants. They'll collect the rent. They'll take out their fee. Normally it's like a 10% charge for them to manage the property. And every month you'll get a check in the mail. So I don't know anything better than that. I mean, and your rent is being paid by the tenants. So it's not like you're coming out of pocket with anything. Yes, initially you have to purchase the property. You have to have the down payment and you have to have the closing costs. But after that, it's free cash flow. Cash flow is the best way to go. Every month you have, even if you have a 9-to-5 job, you have a 9-to-5 job with a salary, let your salary build your rental portfolio. Use the money from your job, right? And even if you go out every year and purchase one property, in 5 years, that'd be 5 properties. Just say those 5 properties are generating $2,000 a month cash flow. That's $10,000 a month cash flow. You're not doing anything for it. You just, only thing you did was you made a smart decision to purchase real estate, and now that real estate is taking care of you. So you have $10,000 a month coming in. And oh, by the way, you still have your job that's paying you whatever your salary is. Now you have $10,000 coming in over here from your rental properties. And then guess what? After you get that $10,000 coming in, most people are going to be like, oh, this is kind of easy. So let me do it again. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So that is just my take on some forms of passive income. And I hope this helped some people. So once again, my name is Kelvin McPherson. I'm a realtor in the state of South Carolina. But if you're looking to purchase real estate, I can assist you in any state. My phone number is 803-966-7025. And you can find me on all social media outlets as at Kelvin, KELVINSC Realtor.
We really appreciate Kelvin for coming on. And again, this is not a comprehensive informational about everything that they'll be sharing, but he will be back and we'll have panel discussions with all of these people. These are little bursts of information that we think we can use when it comes to business and life and improving our finances, improving our families, and improving our stance in the community as well. So we really appreciate Kelvin for coming on, taking his time from South Carolina. He's really is a true supporter of ours, and we truly appreciate him. Coming up next is Miss Janace Griffin. We've introduced Janace previously. She was very influential when it came to celebrating and promoting Juneteenth this year. She and her mom, Miss Honey, celebrated in one of the parks, and they invited the whole community out for food and games, and we had a great time going out there. And she's one of the members who will be supporting us for our Juneteenth committee for next year's Juneteenth committee. So you'll hear her say a few words about that, and we will receive support from the City Parks and Recreation for that next year. So we hope you all will participate as well. And we're always looking for people to join the committee. Again, up next is Miss Janace Griffin, and she is a Air Force veteran. We have so many veterans, veterans today, and we appreciate their service. There's so much to her. She has a bachelor's degree. She has a master's degree in family marriage and family counseling. She's an artist. You'll be able to see her work all over El Paso. So up next is Miss Janace Griffin.
What's up, y'all? I am Junk Dreads, and I'm here with Black El Paso Business Network, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's really important. August is Black Business Month, and it's really surreal to even be here and be able to talk to you guys and be welcome to this network. So I look forward to being a panelist in October. We got a lot of great things coming for El Paso. We just had Juneteenth, and we had several events. It was a great turnout. We had a Juneteenth picnic that was hosted by myself and Miss Honey, and we had food, games, kids came out and played, had a great time. Adults got to hang out with other adults, which is a luxury at times. We also had a veterans event. I am a veteran myself. That turned out really great. We had people out there with tables, with information to help veterans that are looking for like disability help or anything like that. We had, again, music, food. It was a great time. I'm a veteran. Like I said, I was in the Air Force as a nuclear weapons officer. Little known fact in Minot, North Dakota. And top secret clearance. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you were a nuclear weapons officer? Look at your hair. I'm out now. And even still, the what is it called? The Crown Act has been passed. So now you can wear your hair however you want. But serving in the Air Force was great for me. It was a great time, and being out here in El Paso, the veteran community is very large. We have Fort Bliss out here, the Army base, and they're very supportive as well of our events. So speaking of August being Black Business Month, we're trying to have more events coming out, y'all. The city is working towards supporting us. The city Parks and Recreation is working towards helping us with future events for Juneteenth. So next year, I look forward to having several more things happening. And we got to come out, guys. We got to come out and support each other so that they see that it's a big deal here. We always hear about Dallas and Houston and San Antonio, but El Paso is pretty lit too. And if you came out to the events this year, you saw that. You saw that there's several people out here for our culture that had a great time and looking for more things to happen out here. I hope to see you guys next year at some of those events. A little more about myself. I am an artist. I'm an author. I've published 2 books so far, Same Kind of People and The Real Goldilocks. They're both African American children's books. You can find them at Barnes& and Noble, Walmart, Target, Amazon. And as far as my art, El Paso is so big on art, it's ridiculous. I've been in several cities, I've lived in several cities, and I've never seen art as prominent as it is here. And being a Black artist, I definitely appreciate the welcome that I've gotten here. I have several paintings in the community, 2 in restaurants, 1 at Tippy T's and Max downtown, and 3 dispensaries. So Ultra Health, High Horse, and one other one. Trying to think what the other place is. Oh no, 2 dispensaries and 3 restaurants. Max, Tippy T's, Ultra Health, High Horse, and I'm doing one currently for Pecos. So yeah, you will see my art around. I'm actually working on a mural also downtown at the Del Norte Motel. It's a sunset visual of El Paso. And I've only been here for a year and a half. That's what's so weird, guys. I haven't been here that long to already have been so accepted by just the culture and the community and been able to get out and really express myself and people actually support. But I will say, as far as us supporting African Americans supporting each other, I don't know if we're still scared of the pandemic or we scared of monkeypox or what, but we got to get out the house and show each other support so that we can continue to put on these events. And so, yeah, I am looking forward to networking in the community and sharing my story, hearing you guys' story. I graduated North Carolina A&T, cum laude. So my HBCUs and people with Aggie Pride, I'm out here. Moving forward, if you guys come out to our events, be sure to look for me. I will be there, Junk Dreads. Also, if you want to reach me on social medias across the board, it's Junk Dreads with a Z. Share your story with me. I'll share my story with you all, and I'll see you there. Bye.
Thank you so much, Janae, for sharing your information with us. And again, Janae will be back with us. She's one of our columnists. She's an amazing writer, community supporter, and I believe that you're going to fall in love with everything that she does, especially her artistry. And we hope that you'll be able to visit some of those places. We will be sharing more information on where you can view her art on our social media and on the websites. And again, at the end of this, when everyone has spoken, we'll provide their information for you again and where you can follow them on social media or visit their websites. So before we bring on our next guest, and she is here live in the studio, we're so excited to have her on. Our next guest is Miss Kalisha Evans, and she's will be speaking about something that's really, really, really important to me, and that's elder care. I mean, I can't stress it enough when it comes to elder care and caring for the elderly in the community. And she is the expert. She is the go-to person. She's also an expert on veterans affairs. So she's going to tell you a little bit about that too. But we're going to take a brief break and we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. Give us a few minutes. Just a moment. We're fixing our camera real quick and she'll be right on.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kalisha Evans, and I am a gerontologist. I am a third-year doctoral student at Concordia University, Chicago. I've been a gerontologist for over 10 years. I graduated from the University of Southern California, Davis School of Gerontology in 2018. I've been here in El Paso since 2017. I am a medically retired U.S. Army veteran. And today I would like to talk about understanding elder care and abuse. So, understanding elder care and abuse. My company's name is Wise with Words LLC. I will come back on later on and share a little bit more about what my company does here in the community and how everyone can get involved. I first want to talk about the overview. So, in this overview, major sections, I will discuss my introduction, which I have done, definitions that are very important that I believe that everyone needs to understand, as well as caregivers. And then I'll talk about all the abuse, but most importantly, the two areas that I want to harp on the most is physical abuse and financial abuse. And then I'll also give an update on Texas elder abuse law, and then, like I said, at the end, I will be discussing my company. So first, let's talk about the definitions. What is elder care? A lot of people, most of the time when I tell them I'm a gerontologist, they are completely confused on what a gerontologist is and what a gerontologist does. Let me first tell you that my scope of practice is research. So I am more on the administrative side of policy analyzing and also awareness and contributions to changes that will come about for elder care. So elder care is care of people who are elderly or infirm, provided by residential institutions, which are more like assisted livings, nursing homes, residential homes, and then also by paid daily help in the home. So those are your private duty nursings, your in-home caregivers, your PRN caregivers. And then lastly, the most important one for me to discuss is family members, because a lot of times we cannot afford to put our family members in nursing homes, assisted livings, residential homes, and then we're forced to have them stay at home. And that's why, for me, the most important part of elder care is understanding the situations that happen with family members. And then the other definition that I'll talk about today is elder abuse: any form of mistreatment that results in harm or loss to an older person. Physical, emotional, neglect, abandonment, sexual, financial, all of those are forms of elder abuse. And I'm pretty sure if you've ever watched the news or a movie or been out in public, you've probably witnessed elder abuse and didn't even know that you were actually witnessing it. Okay, so caregivers, formal versus informal. So with formal caregiving, those are your medical personnel. So those are your doctors, your CNAs, certified nursing assistants. Those are your RNs, registered nurses, your LPNs or LVNs, which are licensed professional nurses or licensed vocational nurses. So those are people who are trained in what to do and how to take care of an elderly person. Informal, family members. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this area because this area is the most detrimental part to an elder care's situation. So, with informal caregivers, those are your daughters, those are yourselves, those are your grandkids, your sons, your aunts, your uncles. Those are the people that are kind of forced into taking care of you, or you are the person that's forced to take care of your loved one without proper education, without the proper tools. Because a lot of times we're not given the tools that we actually need in order to make sure that we can do the job of a caregiver and do it positively. So, talking about positive and negative effects, one of the positive effects to actually being a formal caregiver is that the elderly person is placed into a facility where they can receive the treatment and the care that they need under the eyes and the scope of federal, national, and I'm sorry, federal, state, and local laws. And then for informal caregivers, it minimizes the pain and suffering. What do I mean by that is that when you are a informal caregiver, and I want you to think of yourself as an elderly person, and you have your daughter or your son or your grandchildren who are known to you, who you are comfortable with taking care of you, a lot of times that depression, that pain that you're feeling, that the suffering that you may feel of loneliness begin to decrease because you know the person that is taking care of you. However, there are negative effects to informal caregivers. One of the biggest ones is the fact that there is a lack of education. So, when you are an informal caregiver, a lot of times, like I say, you are forced into it and you're just going to do the normal things. Mom or dad needs medication. Grandma or grandpa needs help to the toilet or to take a shower, But a lot of times we don't understand exactly what all we are supposed to do. And where do we go? Who do we talk to? How can we ask these types of information? That is where my company comes in, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. On the formal side of caregiving, one of the biggest things is burnout. Because in a nursing facility, a lot of times you're 10 to 2. That means you have 10 patients, 2 CNAs. CNAs are direct care. Those are the people that your loved ones see from day to day to day, from sun up to sundown. Those are the ones that your family sees the most. So a lot of times when you have 10 patients and you're working a 12-hour shift and you have this button going off, this call light going off, this person needs meds, this person needs to be turned, it can really cause burnout. So another thing that I like to talk about is how formal caregivers can understand how to take time to take care of themselves so that they don't get burned out behind having to take care of that 10 to 2 type of ratio in a facility. Now, abuse. Physical abuse, like I said, is the most common abuse. A lot of times, people don't even understand how common physical abuse is when it comes to the elderly. So it's a form of violence or harm that leaves an older person significantly injured. Types of abuse: bruising, hitting, kicking, punching, shoving, restraining, scratching, and slapping. Now, I will tell you, there's a video that is very disturbing, but you can Google it. It's about a in-home caregiver who was slapping an elderly woman. And then there's another story of a in-home caregiver who actually killed a woman and buried her in her basement under cement. Now, if either one of those stories made your blood boil, this is why I feel that physical abuse should be understood properly on all channels from the federal down to the local, and why we as a community, especially so a Black community, we need to really educate ourselves on the signs, educate ourselves on how we can go about making sure that things like this never happen again. And therefore, I wanted to share what physical abuse was, because if you see something, say something. It's just like, that's the golden rule these days. If you see something, say something. Well, where do you go to say something? Who can you contact? You can contact myself and my company, because we are actual legal mandated reporters. So if you don't know where to go, I'm going to give you more information here in a little bit of where to go in order to give the information to the right people to take care of our elderly in our community. Financial abuse. Financial abuse is one that is actually becoming more and more apparent. So with financial abuse, it's money or belongings that are stolen from an older adult. As you can see, it says forging checks, taking someone else's retirement or Social Security benefits, or using a person's credit card and bank accounts without their permission. Now, that does not mean that you say, hey, grandma, hey, grandpa, can I borrow your card? I want to go to the store. And they give you the card. That is not financial abuse. What is financial abuse is when they say no and you go and you get that card anyway. And then you go shopping and you max the card out. Now we have a problem, because as you can see, about 12% of the crimes against older Americans involve financial abuse, and it can wipe out an elder's entire life savings over a period of time. I have seen this happen time and time and time after again here in El Paso. Believe it or not, El Paso, in my professional opinion, is one of the highest that I've ever worked in when it comes to financial abuse. There is so much financial abuse here in El Paso. And I would love to meet with some people who even feel like your loved one is being financially abused, so that we can have those kind of conversations, so that I can give you the help and the tools that you need to make sure that these things never happen again. And next, Texas elder abuse law. So the law in Texas that all Texas residents are required to report known or suspicious elder abuse. Texas is home to more than 2.5 million elderly residents, and there are tens of thousands of elder abuse cases each year. Since I have been in El Paso, I have worked on 3 elder abuse cases, 2 physical, 1 financial. And I can tell you that it is a problem. It definitely is a problem. So how can you report it? In the state of Texas, you can contact Adult Protective Services locally. I put the local number up here because we are in El Paso. However, if you go to my website, you can see the general. place that you can report. And then I also wanted to add New Mexico Adult Protective Services, because a lot of times there are residents who live in El Paso, but they work in New Mexico, or they live in New Mexico and they work in El Paso. So therefore, I wanted to give two different state forms of how you can go about reporting the abuse that you either have seen or even heard about. And it's okay to give that information. And if you don't feel comfortable to give that information, that is where we come in. So, once again, my company is Wise with Words LLC. Backstory: I made this company because I truly believe that there is a need nationally and globally for more people to understand exactly how gerontologists operate, what we do on levels other than just clinical. And therefore, I came up with a mission. And our mission is to form an organization where geriatric families, caregivers, and corporations are able to constantly and comfortably grow through education and training. I will ensure, and my company will ensure, that those who come in contact with the elderly will be able to do so with confidence. The areas of specialty: there's a whole lot more, but the three big areas are consulting. I can consult with you about any and everything. I do need to make sure that people understand I am a clinician, I am not a doctor, and I am also a mandated reporter, and I am an educator. So, any form of consulting, whether that be veteran benefits, which I have helped a lot of veterans here in the city of El Paso and in the state of Texas, actually get their veteran benefits. Some veterans that I've met are older veterans who've never filed a claim before, don't know how to file a claim, don't understand what it means to file a claim. So a lot of them are sent to me. And when they're sent to me, I do a more personal approach. I request all medical records. I make sure that they understand line by line. And one of those veterans that I helped was a Bronze Star medalist who never filed a claim. But with me, we filed a claim, and let's just say his percent, he was very, very happy with. And then advocating. Once again, mandated reporter, I do a lot of advocating. I advocate on behalf of not just the elderly person, but also the caregivers, families. If you feel like you are being put in a sandwich effect, or you're given the runaround when trying to talk to the police or a lawyer or a doctor, anything like that, if you feel as though you are getting nowhere, contact me and I can advocate on your behalf. I can do a lot of things that many people cannot do, or many people just don't know how to do, to include Social Security, disability, and retirement. I am an advocate to help those who are looking to obtain their Social Security, disability, and or retirement. I can help you. I can help your family members with that. And then training. So as a trainer, I offer group trainings, company trainings, one-on-one trainings, and I also do little speakeasies. I like to start back up doing again. And those are called Coffee and Conversations, where you can come meet me somewhere here in El Paso, and you can grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and I give trainings. A lot of these trainings can be used as continual ed trainings for those who are in the medical field. So I would love, love, love to meet some of you in the community and to see what all you may need from me and how I can help you. Also, corporations. Believe it or not, everybody deals with the elderly. Everybody does. So if you want to know how to tailor some of your information to better reach the elderly population, that's also where I can come in, because that's what I do. I like to sit down and have one-on-one conversations with the elderly all the time. So just contact me with anything that you may have questions about. My contact information is listed, And I'll leave that up for just a second while I give you some more information that I feel is very important. And after that, if you taken the time to write it down, and I know that we will actually give you that information again here in a minute. So I just wanted to come back up. This is me. If you see me in the community, say hi. If you need me, call me. I am always available. And I also wanted to add, although I am in El Paso is not the only state that I can practice in. I can practice in all 50 states. And I can also practice globally. I have clients in Hong Kong, clients in Korea. I have clients in California. So if you know somebody in another state that could use my services, please, please, please send them my way. I would be glad to help them. I do in person and I also do virtual. I do phone calls, late night phone calls, burial benefits. I do it all. So, whatever you may need, as you can see here in a minute that my information will be up. Contact me. I look forward to speaking and working with some of you. And I also look forward to being a pillar here in the community of El Paso for all those that may need me. So thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I appreciate El Paso Black Business for asking me to come and speak. And I look forward to working with you again. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Okay, so you guys can see why I'm automatically including her as the unofficial partner with us, because she is absolutely amazing. And again, we'll be providing more of her information later. And also, again, she mentioned about the ways that she helps veterans. We'll be providing a special panel discussion, and hope that she will come on for that too, to be able to help those who are maybe having issues with their veterans benefits, and anyone who may be having issues with elderly people, or taking care of elderly people in their family, or if they're just not aware of all the benefits that they can receive too from Miss Kalisha when it comes to understanding more about elder care. I'm just excited. I'm so excited. Um, we really truly thank her for that. And of course, coming up next at 1 o'clock, because we're going to take a quick little break. Coming up at 1 o'clock, our favorite Miss Ricky Smith. She's going to be joining us with some amazing words of inspiration. So if you would like to, you can tune back in to Facebook for El Paso Black Business, or YouTube at elpasoblackbusiness.com. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, and make sure you like and follow our Facebook page and our Instagram page. We'll be back at 1 p.m. for Miss Ricky Smith, who will end this wonderful day of celebrating Black businesses during this Black Business Month. Thank you all, and we're looking forward to providing you with more information and our weekly and monthly business and life burst. If you would like to be a speaker, email Brandy at epbbn.com. Thank you guys for tuning in, and come back at 1 p.m.